Retirement was supposed to smell like fresh newspapers and lawn clippings. Instead, mine reeked of hospital disinfectant and unanswered what-ifs. I'd spent 47 years fixing diesel engines. Marianne spent 47 loving the way coffee steam curled from a cafe cup. For decades, she dreamed of a corner shop where cinnamon jazz and conversation floated from dawn to dusk. We planned to launch it when the kids grew up. Then cancer hijacked the calendar. In her final week, hospice let me wheel her outside. She inhaled spring air, smiled weakly, and whispered, "I can almost smell the beans." I promised, "Someday you'll taste them." She squeezed my hand, answer hidden in tired eyes. Someday never came for her. She passed at 68, dream left like grounds in a cold mug. 7 years later, I still woke at 5 a.m., out of habit, but had nowhere to be. One rainy morning, I rummaged Marianne's hope chest and found the notebook. Pages of menu ideas, sketch of a tiny storefront, tagline scribbled in margin, "Coffee should smell like happiness." Grief hit like espresso, sharp and galvanizing. That afternoon, I drove past an abandoned newsstand. Cracked windows, rent sign tilting. Inside my chest, a voice stirred. Brew it for her. I was 75, no business degree, arthritic hands that shook when holding demitasse cups. Banker raised eyebrows. Friends cautioned about senior stress. But their doubts smelled nothing like Marianne's beans, so I signed the lease. I didn't open a coffee shop to make money or trend on Instagram. I opened it to keep a promise, to let strangers inhale the scent she loved, and in doing so, scatter her dream like sugar on a countertop. This is the story of how a widower traded wrenches for portafilters, leveled grief on a tamp, and pulled shots of liquid memory until the whole block smelled like her happiness. The newsstand was a 200-square-foot shoebox wedged between a laundromat and a thrift store. Floorboards warped, ceiling plaster peeling like antique wallpaper. Yet when I walked in, I swear Marianne's laugh bounced off every dusty magazine rack. Step 1, demolition. At dawn, I pried shelves loose, each nail squealing farewell to obsolescence. Neighbors watched through rain-speckled windows as old Mr. Carter hauled debris like a man half his age, though my back screamed like overtuned guitar strings. Claire, our daughter, flew in on weekends, armed with PowerPoint spreadsheets. I ignored most slides but copied her heading. Non-negotiables, quality, warmth, story. She handled licensing, I handled soul. Sourcing beans felt like dating again. Roasters pitched notes of plum, chocolate, citrus. I chose the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe Marianne adored on our honeymoon, bright with floral whispers. Roaster wrote "For Marianne" on each burlap sack. I tipped extra. Decor budget, shoestring, solution, repurpose Marianne's antique teacup collection as pour-over flower pots. Hang her jazz vinyl sleeves as wall art. Grandson laser cut a wooden sign reading "Marianne's Mornings" in cursive that matched her notebook. Barista training began with YouTube marathons at midnight. My mechanical hands learned new choreography, flick grinder switch, weigh 18 grams, tamp 30 pounds of pressure, 9 bars extraction. First tries looked like muddy puddles. By week 3, crema formed. Golden halos of impending joy. Health inspector arrived precisely 9 a.m., tie crooked. He asked why an engine mechanic believed he could run food service. I set 2 cups on counter, 1 freehand latte for him, 1 plain drip for me. Steam swirled, he sipped, shoulders relaxed, stamp, approved. Meanwhile, the neighborhood transformed. Laundromat owner painted his facade to match my mint green door. Thrift store curated coffee date outfits in window. Community sensed something sprouting between washers and bargain racks. Hope, maybe. Soft opening invite list, block residents, hospice nurses who cherished Marianne, mail carrier who always smelled faintly of rain. I rehearsed greeting, "Welcome to happiness in a cup." But on the day, words jammed behind lump in throat. Instead, I rang brass bell Marianne bought at flea market and simply said, "Come on in, it's warm." Coffee maker gurgled like distant ocean. Cinnamon rolls baked from Marianne's handwritten recipe filled air with nostalgia. People lingered past errands, chatting as Ella Fitzgerald scattered overhead. Someone remarked, "Haven't smelled a place this comforting since Grandma's kitchen." That night, I locked up, pocketed first at $23, and cried into apron because the air outside no longer smelled of damp newspapers, but of her dream made real. Opening week crashed like simultaneous Reno and opera. Day 2, grinder jammed mid-rush, beans ground too fine. Panic brewed, line grew restless. Muscle memory from years of engine triage kicked in. Disassemble, clear burrs, recalibrate. 5 minutes flat, applause erupted. Day 4, social media influencer posted photo of teacup planners. Followers swarmed, shipping lattes to Instagram stories. I hired Maya, 19, latte art prodigy with rainbow hair. She taught me rosettas. I taught her patience when machine hissed tantrums. Customer patterns emerged. Mr. Diaz, retired teacher, 7 a.m. doppio, reading Neruda aloud. Nurse Lila, post-night shift, oat milk cappuccino, eyes heavy with hero fatigue. Teenage couple sharing hot cocoa kisses in back nook, once occupied by tabloids. I introduced a ritual. At 11 a.m. precisely, I brewed a cortado, placed it at the corner table under Marianne's portrait, and whispered a memory. Customers noticed, asked, "Who's the lucky recipient?" I'd answer, "The reason this place exists." Sales climbed, so did exhaustion. Late nights counts receipts, early mornings proof dough, spine protested. One dawn, I collapsed onto flour-dusted counter. Tears cutting tracks. Claire found me, threatened closure day. I conceded half day off weekly. She taught Maya bookkeeping, balance return. But grief isn't linear. On Marianne's birthday, I planned Rose Latte special. Mid-shift, her favorite song, La Vie en Rose, played. Scent of roses collided with emptiness. Hands shook, milk pitcher clattered. Maya covered register while I retreated to alley, breath fogging. I almost asked the sky why dreams arrive once dreamers depart. Then wind carried espresso aroma, answer clear. Because love outlives absence. I wiped tears, re-entered, crafted perfect rose latte, placed at portrait table. Customers followed suit, buying extra drink for Marianne. Table overflowed. Fragrance of petals mingled with crema. Grief shifted to celebration. 2 months in, pandemic aftershocks hit foot traffic. I pivoted. Curbside window installed. Menu chalkboards visible from sidewalk. QR codes for touchless pay. Local newspaper featured 75-year-old grandpa innovates like Gen Z. Orders spiked. We added pastry subscription boxes. But hardware fails, and so did I. Slipped disc-lifting milk crate. Doctor ordered brace, reduced movement. I feared dreams steam drying up. Claire devised shift rotation. Maya promoted to lead barista. I became host, our storyteller, greeting patrons from stool by window. Surprisingly, sales climbed higher. Customers craved narrative with caffeine. Community projects bloomed. Pay It Forward board, where customers pinned prepaid cups for strangers. Poetry nights, Mr. Diaz emceeing, teen poets rhyming with foam hearts and cups. Hospice outreach, we delivered free muffins towards. One cloudy Thursday, city inspector dropped notice. Sidewalk ramp, non-compliance, $5,000 fine pending. Funds tight, closure risked. That evening, town meeting took vote. Neighbor Sam, welder, donated labor. Hardware stores supplied materials. Grand reopening ramp party featured free cortados. Mayor cut ribbon. I dedicated ramp to Bridges love builds when steps fail. Approaching 1-year anniversary, I planned secret, recreate honeymoon blend. Yurgachev with hint of orange zest to mark her memory. Roaster and Maya helped roast microbatch. Label, Marianne's Sunrise. Launch day lines wrapped block. I unveiled blend story, served first cup to hospice nurse who held her hand at passing. She sipped, eyes glossed. Tastes like she's saying hello. Evening closed with jazz quartet in shop. Candles flickered. I sat at corner table across from empty cup, feeling full. The coffee shop didn't just resurrect Marianne's dream, it resurrected me. Physically daily grind, literal, kept joints limber. Doctor reduced hypertension meds. Your caffeine cardio regimen works, apparently. Mentally engineering brain found new puzzles. Espresso ratios, supply chain timing, staff mentorship, staving off retiree stagnation. Emotionally, grief matured into dialogue. Each story I told customers rewove her into present tense. I stopped fearing the day her scent would fade. Shop ensured it hummed in AC vents perpetually. Financially, modest profit, enough to fund youth barista scholarships. Maya now studies culinary arts on Marianne's Mornings grant. Community ripple, adjacent shops report 20% revenue rise. Block dubbed Caffeine Corner. City invites me to advise small biz incubator. Proof late life entrepreneurship seeds urban renewal. But greatest consequence, belief that age is not ash but soil. At 75, I didn't start over. I blossomed onward, roots fed by decades, flowers scented with memory. It's 5:45 a.m. Sunrise paints mint green facade gold. I unlock door, flick on pendant lights. Grinder hums first low purr. Steam spirals upward, aroma of coming possibilities. I walk to corner table, set down cortado, whisper morning greeting. Ready for another busy day, love? Some say talking to a departed wife is delusion. I call it daily board meeting. She remains majority shareholder of my heart. If you're watching from a rocking chair thinking life's big ventures expired with your savings bonds, let this crema crown your doubts. Dreams age like beans. Properly stored, they bloom under heat. Find a notebook of unsung plans, lease the empty space in your soul. Roast resilience until the air around you smells of purpose. And if you cherish someone whose dream passed with them, brew it anyway. Their joy will waft back on the steam, sweetening every weary morning. Press subscribe for more late life origin stories. Hit like if aroma reached through the screen, and pour your own tale in the comments. What cup of possibility are you ready to serve? The bell above my door jingles. First customer steps in. I smile, apron swishing like fresh grounds, and say, "Welcome to happiness. You can smell it, can't you?"